Welcome to the Berea podcast. This is Troy.
This is Della.
And we are together recording. And you may hear in the background, we are not in Front Porch Studios. We are driving from Richmond to Berea down glorious Highway 25. How many times have you driven this road, Della?
I cannot count how many times I have driven this road. This used to be the way we would go to Richmond when we were in college.
Absolutely.
In my little 87 Toyota Corolla.
Because the movie theater used to be on this side and the whole Richmond Mall when it was the place to come to.
And I didn't like driving on the interstate.
Oh, that is still true.
That is still true.
All right. Well, I thought that we would do a catch-up episode that's just, because we've not been recording together in months and months and months. Summarize the summer. What has happened in your life so far?
Well, I think the same thing that's happening in everyone's life this summer. I work from home and I watch a lot of TV. I did a little gardening and I've gained some weight.
That is true. I have never weighed more in my life than I have right now, and I feel so bad about it. That doesn't stop me from getting those snacks. Those snacks have gone a little bit healthier. Freeze-dried strawberries are pretty incredible. So that's that's recommendation number one. Where were we? Was that from Target?
It might have been from Target.
Right. So
that was like one of our 2 trips to Lexington in 8 months.
Right.
So whatever it's been since COVID started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So recommendation number one is freeze-dried strawberries. What is your TV recommendation? What have we watched again for multiple hours back to back?
So currently we are watching Psych.
And it is an sometimes overlooked but wonderful TV show that you can just binge back to back to back.
Yep. And we have been binging West Wing.
And I think it is recognized as awesome.
Yes. And I think both of those, our daughter is 14. And both of those are great. That's a great age. She enjoys both of those. She likes Psych more,
right,
but she enjoys both of those a lot.
Now, something going back to Psych just for a second is it's, a murder mystery kind of procedural that's funny, but there is so much social commentary in that show that you miss, like for the kids. They write that so well that if you're watching for social commentary, it's there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it is. I'm watching it. This is the 3rd time we've watched it, right? So, in our lifetimes.
Binged it. And yeah, that's
yes.
like, I'm ashamed to admit that. No, that's like 300 hours.
I know. We're like experts on Psych now. Like, we could have learned the piano or how to speak Spanish, but instead we've watched hours and hours and
We're
hours
speaking
of Psych.
Yes.
All
right,
and then we've watched other things too, but honestly, they're off my head right now.
We're watching lots of news because news is happening.
We do watch a lot of news. We do watch a lot of news.
There was one morning that Della woke me up, and whatever the morning was, and she just went, "The world is on fire."
I did. I opened up my New York Times app, and I was like, "What?" But this is not even when, the west coast of America was literally on fire. This was before that, so.
So that is very true.
We watched The Kaminsky Method.
Oh my gosh.
That was a show we discovered.
Is that on Netflix, right?
I think it's on Netflix.
Really funny.
So.
I told a friend that's just turned a significant milestone year that's half a century. And he says, this is the best show ever. It was meant for me at this time. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
What are other recommendations that you would just have of coping through this life and time?
I don't have a lot. So
really?
I have found it. We're kind of introverted anyway, which is surprising for people who actually do a podcast. But, at the beginning, it was sort of like, life is such a treadmill, right? You're always running. It was nice at the beginning to feel like you could just stop. But then it's gotten to be a little bit like, so what are we doing now? So I have found it. I don't have any silver bullets or anything that I would recommend to people to do to cope. I think it's been a challenging time.
Well, very true, very true. And that, okay, so I've got a list of 17 things Would you so
That is the difference between us right there.
I completely love these meals that we get mailed to us.
You do.
What's the name of what we're using right now?
HelloFresh.
HelloFresh is what we're using right now. We've used several of them because we use the cheap introductory offer and then go to the next cheap introductory offer. And we've stuck on HelloFresh for a while.
And actually, it's been pretty cost effective. I think for a family of 3, it's pretty cost effective because we get leftovers from it.
Correct.
And that has been, and also if you don't really want to go spend a lot of time at the grocery store, it does send it all to you, and the recipe card, and I think in that way, it has not really been that expensive. It just turned out to be pretty good.
And then a further drill down recommendation is their vegetarian meals are as good as far in regards to taste, but it takes like half the time to cook a vegetarian meal, and the vegetarian meals are easier to reproduce. Today, literally, like we got a zucchini and some little tomatoes from farmer's market yesterday and used the recipe card and made the whole meal again for like $3.
Yeah, it was good. And the recipe card is, what's great about it, it's very easy to follow. You know, Parker can do it. She's made some of them. They are very easy to follow. So that's a good hack. I guess a good life hack.
And and again, the vegetarian options are fine, and then you can reuse them a lot more. So that's point number 1.
Now we also do, and I was reading in the New York Times a little concerned about eating out so much, about whether that's risky behavior or not, but we really get quite a bit still to go. We do patron our local restaurants still, and I think that's very important to do.
Absolutely, we do, and we still we of course when it first started doubled down on eating out and eating from our local places. It's back to more routine. Like we have our Saturday morning routines and our either Friday or Wednesday night routines where the pizza comes to us and we just enjoy it as well. So we do value that. So keep routine. That's actually another one of the recommendations. Just do what you did before if you can, but treasure it a little bit more. We look forward to getting the pizza. And we, but more deeply now than when it was just, I don't feel like cooking today. Mm-hmm. So that is valuable. Here's a technical thing. There are a few more streaming services that have opened up in the past few months. And
if it's like new meat, right? Like, what? There's something we've never watched? Where is that? What service is that on?
Exclusive on Peacock. We must get Peacock.
Why do we not have Peacock?
But there's different kinds of deals depending on what service you have. I found this device at our local Walmart. It's a TiVo streaming, and it is like a $50 thing, but with it, you can get everything off of all of the different services and route it through that one little box. And here's nerdy: if you're considering upgrading your TV, as people have been during these unprecedented times, you can get the box, and it gave us a more clear image because we were routing things through the box rather than streaming it through the TV, and the audio comes through better. So yes, Stella?
Yes, I would say we were having a little trouble with sound, particularly when we were using Amazon Prime. The sound was really, and the reason that matters is because we're on our psych bench, right? And that's where psych is. So I was so glad you discovered that fix, because the difference between our little TV that costs $70 and now when you go, the TVs are $700, and we were like, gulp, we are not going to do that.
We're not getting 10 times the use. That's what you kept on saying.
I mean, it is not 10 times better to have this TV over this TV. Right. So, yeah. What I've been surprised about is a lot of people have started baking and cooking more. I have not found that I have more time. I've just found that I actually feel like I'm working more and things, but I just feel like I don't have more time. I just don't do as much out of the house.
And that's one of the things of, just embrace the time we're in rather than I should be learning a different language or whatever.
Which we really should.
Well, we should have done that at age 4. But where we are now, I'm of a different opinion of let's just embrace, what it is and what we do have.
But you have like 80 jobs. It's not
Yeah.
like you're just sitting around watching, a lot of TV.
Except for Psych and West Wing, and I've got other shows that I watch too. But I do that while doing other things.
Yeah. You're really good at that. I can't do that. If I'm watching TV, I'm watching TV. I am not doing anything else. So.
You stand there with an article of clothing in your hand that you're going to fold, and you wait until a commercial break to fold it.
I can't do it. I'm watching the show. I just have never been a good
multitasker or whatever.
Yeah. And of course, I think with everyone's jobs,
right.
It is, everyone's hours, I think, feel longer,
It's true.
Just generally.
Now, we have struggled to get up earlier and go for walks, but when we do, we enjoy it, but we have not made it like a routine thing. Really, our routines are watching TV and eating pizza. And what are other routines? Bathing is more of a routine because it doesn't happen daily. It's not a daily routine. It is an as needed, so I guess it's not a routine. But that is definitely true, right? Anything else, recommendations or just thoughts? We are in Berea proper right now. The library is open, and it's got, since we haven't gone in so much, it's got so much new stuff.
Oh, okay. You did get something. I had forgotten that.
What?
I have generally, though, you have been a little more willing to do excursions than me. I am a lot more homebody than you are. So it's like we've sent you out into the wild. You have to go hunt and gather for the family, and we'll just stay home.
Very true. Very true. And I've enjoyed it just being out, for a little bit. And I love masks for two reasons. I love breathing through my mouth. And no one knows that I don't do that when I'm going into the store. I do smile. I still smile at people, but they don't know it.
So you love the masks? I do not mind the masks.
I hate sweating in those 6 square inches, though. Because that is the hottest part of my body when I've got those things, covering all that.
I feel like when we're wearing the mask, I feel like we are making it is a we're all in this together moment, because I am wearing my mask for you. When I see somebody, I think I am wearing my mask for you. Thank you for wearing your mask for me. That is how I feel.
Now, I want to float an idea, because this was weeks and weeks ago. I said, Della, we should do this, and you have not seemed as interested, but I think we should make masks that have fake beards down the front. Remember me saying that?
Now you've given away your great idea.
Well,
I thought it was our $1 million idea right there.
Right there. You did not say that when I told you and we weren't recording. But if you think that is an interesting idea, email me at troy@thebereapodcast.com. If you think it is a stupid idea, email Della at thebereapodcast.com. And if you have any tips or tricks that have helped you get through, shoot us either an email and we'll share them on future episodes. Again, we just wanted to have a chance to connect together and get an episode out there. So
something I have really loved is seeing recommendations on people's Facebook. I really go into the comments now so much. When someone says, we have finished watching, what's another thing everyone would recommend? I go down and read them all. What are they recommending? So I love it that people do that. Although I'm not a big Facebook user, I do like to read for those purposes.
But you are like a Facebook, like Feast or Famine. You get on it and you deep dive into it. You think the comments are meant for you.
I do like to read the comments. I like to see what people are thinking. I do.
And that's where people think the most, are on comments on Facebook, right?
That's funny.
Okay. Thanks so much. So thanks so much for listening. We're out of here. See you later.
Bye.